In your own words, what is the plot of Star Wars?
So Star Wars begins with Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan.
Going back a long time ago in the 1980s.
It's about a kid growing up, basically being told that he's super special awesome.
So Star Wars starts with this young boy, his name's Anakin.
It starts out with a boy named Anakin Skywalker.
They fight for a little bit, and unfortunately, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan's master, passes away, and then Obi-Wan takes revenge and takes the life of Darth Maul. Time skip. Obi-Wan is looking for the prophecy child, which is Anakin.
He starts as this little kid who's living with his mom in a little village.
Obi-Wan trains Anakin to be his Padawan.
He meets Padme, and Padme is the older woman who's probably about like 16-ish.
And they were separated. Anakin had to take his path as a Jedi, and she had to take her path as a senator, and they just never really crossed until they meet up, and he's protecting her once again. Padme was attacked during a conference with all the senators.
Second movie kind of cuts to Anakin being older, and then obviously Padme being older as well. They kind of come together after being separate for a while. Anakin talks about how he, every day that passed by, Padme kind of has never left his mind. He always thought about her, and it just kind of sparks as like a love interest kind of.
They end up dating.
And through this protection, Anakin realizes that he has to always go above and beyond to protect everyone. And whether it be following his master's orders or not, he has to do what he has to do to protect people.
There's a whole lot of really cool action and space stuff that happens in between there, but that's ultimately like the core story is just Anakin Skywalker growing up and realizing how absolutely messed up his life has been.
He starts to have these bad dreams about Padme being attacked, kind of just like her not being safe. And then Senator Palpatine kind of comes in. He has like the ability to kind of like sense where Anakin's at, like mentally, and kind of sense that something's not right.
And Palpatine enlists some views for him that kind of contradict the views of the Order.
And Padme says, "You're breaking my heart, and you're going down a path I just can't follow," and then she's crying, and then he kills her.
And the dark side is just fueled by fear. I think everybody kind of has like their own dark side, but it's kind of being pushed out. When you're able to kind of recognize that it's fear, that's kind of bringing everybody together.
And through that, we see Anakin be truthfully influenced by the dark side, and we see a turn for the worse.
So he becomes super evil.
His defeat of his master, or his master defeating him, kind of starts his evil journey. As the movie ends, he is picked up by some droids, by Palpatine.
And then with this, he turns into this character called Darth Vader, because he's like ultimately like, not the king of like the dark side, but he's just like, he did something that is just so dark that no one else kind of really understood. So he's kind of like this huge leader of the dark side and has the most fear that everybody else has.
The movie starts with Luke.
Later on in the other movies, you kind of grow up with Luke. Obi-Wan watches over Luke, makes sure that all of his training is doing good. So since he's a Jedi, technically a Jedi's son, he's also kind of put up to be an amazing Jedi.
And then fast forward, Luke Skywalker sees this really cute girl with space buns, and her name is Princess Leia, and then they link up.
We have Han Solo, we have Chewie, we have these characters that kind of help him find his true self. We find out that Darth Vader is his father. In a very iconic scene, he told, "I am your father." And Darth Vader is, lo and behold, plotting against every single planet, trying to destroy with his ship or his vessel of destruction that is called the Death Star.
The plot was basically they were trying to take out the Death Star, and I remember them fighting and Luke going in and actually hitting the center and then basically blowing up the Death Star.
Luke ends up meeting Darth Vader, who's his father, which is Anakin Skywalker, who's like no longer his name. He kind of goes along with being, oh, that's my dad, but he is on like the better side, good side kind of thing.
Luke is trying to do everything for his father. He's like, I can't let you die. I need you. And essentially, Anakin is practically dead in the suit, and he passes away, unfortunately.
And then Darth Vader dies.
But at the end of the movie, problems somewhat resolved. The galaxy is somewhat back in order.
And basically, that was the main plot of it.
There's the Mandalorian with Baby Yoda, and he's Grogu. He's not really Baby Yoda. And they saw Luke Skywalker there, and Luke Skywalker was showing Baby Yoda how to do some moves. So that's Star Wars.